What's going on, everybody? Mike here. If you'd like to join the ever-growing Fly Casual community, please take a moment right now to subscribe to our channel and share with a friend.
Losers.
What?
You still have to see Porkins Kid in the door, so.
Yeah, losers.
Well, boys,
Cold outside.
in news this week,
Baby.
we have a tale of two cities, right?
What?
So,
Was it
have-
the best
is it
of times
St.
or worst
Louis?
of times?
Is it East St. Louis and St.
No.
Louis?
This
Is
is
it
a metaphor.
London
This is
and
metaphorical. We'll be talking some movie successes and some movie failures.
Ooh.
Box office.
Ooh.
We're going to start with the success this week.
What?
DC's The Joker
Oh, yeah.
is
Joaquin Phoenix.
set to hit $1 billion this weekend as we record.
Joking.
$1 billion?
$1 billion.
Holy.
It sits as
crap.
we record. It's about 995 million right now worldwide.
Still haven't seen, totally want to see, and never thought in a million years that it would do this well.
I don't think anybody
wow.
did. I think even the filmmakers are shocked by this.
Yeah.
It
I
is
bet they are.
officially right now. It is the highest grossing on a percentage basis comic book movie of all time.
Oh, yeah.
This was
Holy
on a
crap.
budget of 50 million, 30 to 50 million.
Yep.
And it's made $1 billion.
Yep.
So,
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Somebody got rich.
somebody got rich. And there's
Richer.
a lot of people talking that, I mean, this is really, hopefully some people feel like this is DC's return to form. Hopefully they can
This
build
is
on
in no
this.
way a return
No.
to form. It's a complete departure.
Yeah, it's the
Like
complete
what they've done,
opposite.
but what they've done in the past that's been successful has nothing to do with what
Sure.
they did with
Well.
what's been done with this movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
I mean-
maybe it gives them some direction on what's interesting
you can
versus
talk-
what's just ridiculous and
Well,
stupid.
I mean,
but
if you go back and you look at like the old Superman the movie and Batman 1989 stuff like that, that's what we're talking about. I mean, that kind of form.
no, this is not that
what they've
form.
done.
This is not that form
Well,
either.
I'm not saying that it is. I'm saying return to good movies, good movie making.
Okay. Return to movies that don't suck.
Yes.
Okay.
Now Corey's finally on the page.
Okay. I'm sitting there going, it's not the same thing.
I'm not saying it's the same universe
Yeah.
at all. That's not what
even
I'm saying.
that. I mean, people were saying this was going to be the experimental Joker film. You know what I mean? They were literally using the E word just to make sure we all knew this is different, guys. This is different.
It's different. It's fun. I've seen it twice now. My wife has seen it. She's obsessed, by the way.
Really?
She's like on all the chat rooms and stuff now about this movie.
Will your wife please
All the
hang out with
theories.
my wife more so she can rub off on her? Oh, I'm going to
She's
get in
like-
so much
she's
trouble
like-
for that.
She's geeked out on it worse than I have. I
Yeah.
mean, because there's all kinds of theories about how much of this was in his head, how much of it was real, and blah blah blah.
Oh,
So she's
wow.
really
Joker
into all
Fight
that
Club,
stuff.
got
So it's
Yeah,
good.
that'd
If you
be
guys
cool.
haven't seen it yet,
I
it's
haven't. I want it
it's
so bad.
worth a watch.
There's
Man.
800 films I want to see. I want to see Midway. I want to see all this stuff.
You got to see this one first.
That was
man.
like one
It's
film.
worth it, man. It
That
is
was like
definitely
800.
worth
You
it.
didn't
So
listen. You didn't take good notes.
Oh, and
yeah. It's
Terminator,
breaking all kinds of records, and some people I don't know if they can build on. Some people are hoping. I don't know if this is going to come true or not. That
Probably not.
Pattinson's the Batman
Yeah.
will be tied into this universe
I feel
somehow.
like, wouldn't that be pooping on this movie?
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, who knows? Who
No,
knows?
Highly.
Isn't that already tied into like the existing?
No, I don't
DC
think it is
universe?
at all. I think it's
It
completely
isn't? Are
different.
they rebooting it? Because I thought,
Yes.
like Birds of Prey.
No.
What, does that film not matter anymore then?
I don't think the Batman is actually, wiring into the Birds of Prey and
No,
Harley
the
Quinn.
Birds of Prey. Yeah, all that's kind
Suicide
of their.
Squad.
Yeah, and actually, that DC's dying because now I'm hearing rumors now too, and this makes me sad that the Wonder Woman 1984. There's leaks and rumors now that that's not gonna be
Good.
yeah, that it sucks. Unfortunately.
no.
Unfortunately, the first one was good, but it had too much success because people wanted it to be good so
Yeah.
bad.
Right.
And that is the poison pill.
Well,
that's poison pill.
I'll
You get
tell
too
you
much
what,
success
I
like
started wondering. I mean, they postponed this for a year.
that.
You know, this was supposed to come out this year, and it's not supposed to come out until next spring. I believe the
Oh,
Wonder Woman
wow.
1984. So,
Yeah, I gotta have
I mean, when you like postpone a movie for a whole year, it's like, ooh, you know, this isn't just about them not wanting to release at the same time as other highly hyped movies and stuff.
These are episode 9 kind of delays.
It means there's problems, and that makes me sad because I really did like that first Wonder Woman movie. So,
joking.
But yeah, no, I don't think I don't think the Batman's tied into all that. I think they're kind of in reboot mode.
Well, let's put it this way. Anytime they finally get someone to agree to write and direct one of these hot turds, their first stipulation is as long as I don't have to be affiliated with any of that steaming bull of crap that you're already putting out.
So when's the Flash movie coming out? Like a year and a half ago? Is that when it's coming out?
Well, Garrick, unfortunately, all of this generation and the next generation of directors have already passed on it. So we're going to have to wait until we're grandparents.
They claim it's still happening, and they're saying that
they're not worried about Ezra Miller having osteoporosis or anything.
They are saying that Aquaman 2 is happening, so I don't. Maybe that DCU isn't dead yet. I don't know, but
Aquaman 2 is a gimme.
The Batman,
it'll be a big CG fest. It'll be fine.
The Batman, when it involved Ben Affleck, I think was tied into the DCEU, but I think they've totally scrapped that entirely. I think this is a new script and new direction and everything.
I think what they need to do is what everybody told them to do when they tried to launch a universe all at once, which is, how about you take some time and earn this?
I know, right? I mean,
it's just, and that's the thing. They don't learn a lesson. At no point have they learned a lesson. At no point has anyone gone, wait, because they're still just, they're just delaying, but they're just delaying the same stuff and they're tweaking it a little. It's like, no.
Well,
you need to reset.
Speaking of DC in general, have you heard what they're doing with the comics?
I don't care at this point. Man, I love that stuff.
You got to know this, Garrick. They're releasing new titles called the Black Label, like a Black Label series.
Yeah. No. I brought that up the other day.
It's going to be more Batwiener.
I don't know about that, but they're larger comics. They're larger than
they're physically larger.
Physically larger, and they're going to be like what?
Oh, they're 6-inch scale comics? Black Series?
Yeah, and they're $12.99 a piece.
No, that's not true. Not all of them. Some of them are $8.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I got that so wrong.
Well, to be fair, okay, so I talked about the Harleen comic maybe like 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah. That was a while. Actually, like longer than that.
It's like a miniature graphic novel, so it's like 60 to 70 pages.
Oh,
not all of them. I've seen some of them in my comic store, and they're not that. Some of them are not that big.
They're different. Some of the Black Labels are the standard comic size, like the White Knight, Curse of the White Knight.
Well, it's a good thing that they're not being consistent, so you can have level set expectations.
I will say
these are a lot more mature than your typical DC ones. That's why they're under the Black Label.
And I will say this: I talked to my clerk that was there, and I asked her how these are selling. Dealer? Yeah, my dealer. Yeah.
I
asked her how these are selling. She said they're selling like hotcakes right now. So
yeah, the Harleen comic is great because the comic stores, at least ours, gave away a specialized board back in a plastic bag for them because they're different sized, which is great. It's like, here you go. You can.
They're big. They're like this big. They're huge.
I don't
They're
like
different.
I don't like the DC. Let's do DC more adult because part of what I liked about DC is that it was always hopeful and more innocent. So
that's the main line. That's the main line.
Is it though? But it's not.
Continuing.
It is, but it isn't. It's not
the
what
Black
it used
Label.
to be.
The Black Label more or less are like just individual stories. It's not like a series normally.
With and
they typically more mature. Yeah. With Batwieners.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess the point right now is DC seems very disjointed.
You think?
Yeah, a little bit. So, but anyway, Joker's doing gangbusters, and
because it was completely apart from everything else.
Well, I don't know. I hope they learn a lesson from this, though. I mean, this is kind of back
to Joker's more appealing than Batman now.
This is I guess
I'm just dropping that, but there's probably truth.
The point is, DC's been most successful, and maybe this hurts a little bit me because I was hoping they would go more of a Marvel direction, but they've been most successful when they do the Nolan-esque type things. Nolan's movies were great, and everybody loved them. This Joker is in that vein.
Yeah, it definitely looks more like that.
Maybe that's where they need to stay. I don't know. Of course, all this the Snyder release stuff is still getting a lot of play online.
Oh, seriously, I've seen a huge surge of that hot garbage lately.
They keep claiming that this cut exists and that it's going to be released. They're trying to push it to be released on HBO or something now. Or
Who cares?
I don't know.
Weird.
Go die in HBO.
Well, they released on DC streaming or something.
It is so weird because
Where
there's
nobody will see it.
I've been seeing article after article written that there is a cut of that movie.
I know.
Which
No,
I'm
I know.
How in the heck can that possibly
for
be?
9 or 10 months.
I mean, he left in the middle of production. How could that possibly be?
Because the middle of production was because they had to do so many extensive reshoots. They pretty much shot half the movie again. That's why it's the middle of production.
But well, I mean, okay, so you've got the film, the practical film, but you don't have all the special effects. I would imagine at that point.
I
Do
don't
you
know.
think it was better because
Henry Cavill didn't have
Henry
a
Cavill was
mustache.
shaved? Yeah, I was gonna say.
So they didn't need as many effects.
I don't know. Yeah, right.
Oh, that was terrible.
I don't know.
Gives me
DC,
nightmares.
I guess for all the success with this Joker movie, it still has a long way to go. All right, on the other end of the spectrum, though, Terminator Dark Fate.
Doing great, right? $1 billion?
Oh no,
$2 billion.
It's a Terminator movie. Come on.
Oh, $3 billion.
not so hot, unfortunately.
Oh.
The opening weekend was a certified flop.
I've actually,
Oh no! Certified.
actually been hearing a lot of really bad things about this movie.
The domestic
I
opening.
managed to know nothing going into it, and I'm hearing
I've
people
heard
who
good and
are
I've heard
really
good
turned
things.
off by the story. And like, there's like some unexpected twistiness that people don't care for or something. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even know the specifics.
I don't know anything about this movie at this point.
I love Terminator, so I've just stayed away from it all.
All
So
All
I'd
I
be
know,
fresh when I hit
all I
it.
know is they basically got the band back together, right? We got Linda
Yeah, but
Hamilton.
I think, but that's the thing. I think they did that, but they turn it on its head, and I think that's why people are upset. They're like, "Oh, the band's back together." Oh,
Oh,
The audience score is 83% on Rotten Tomatoes.
well, there you go.
Didn't
What's
they
the
even-
critic score?
71.
That's not a
pretty
huge
close.
discrepancy.
Actually, yeah. Even though it's not doing
It's
great at the
certified
box office,
fresh.
it sounds like people that are seeing it
Okay.
keep claiming that it's a good movie.
Maybe my barometer is broken on that
Oh,
one,
well,
and I want it to be because I like
think,
Terminator.
I think it's marketing.
The marketing has been pretty cruddy.
Darth Joe Pesci claims that listener of the show claims that he saw it and he said it was great.
Well, he got to
loved
see it early, so
did.
naturally he's a poison. You can't listen to that crap. All the people who see the movies early love them. Remember?
All right. So
I
the
remember.
movie released to its domestic opening was 29 million. I think they were hoping more like 40 to 45. Nowhere near that.
29.
Yeah. 29 opening weekend. And it's gone down.
Wow.
I think it went down 60%, 65% the following weekend.
No
I mean,
matter
it's
what they did, Genesis wasn't that long ago, y'all,
Right.
and that pretty
That
much.
was a turd.
Well, here
I
we go.
enjoy it, but it was not a good movie.
Here's the numbers. Domestic opening was 29
Freaking
million. The
turd.
budget was 185. Plus you got to add marketing into that.
Yeah.
Right now, as of this recording, at the worldwide box office, it's sitting at 204. So it's got a 52 million domestic, 151 international. It's that 204 is not profitable.
Yeah. Not yet.
No, and it's not going to get anywhere close.
Yeah.
It's dying on the vine. So,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
is
no.
it's sad. I like the Terminator. I like the Terminator series.
Yeah.
I like Terminator 1 and 2, of course. I liked Salvation and I liked the Terminator 3.
Yeah. Me too.
They were fun.
Those are
They were
fun.
fun watches.
I've liked
Genesis
them
is
all.
fun.
Oh,
like
Howie
them all.
likes them all, guys.
I do too.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though,
Explain
man.
yourself.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that they have to learn, though, after this movie. Terminator, it's a franchise, but nobody cares about it.
That's the thing. The Terminator should have continued to be in a franchise where you got a new movie every 5 to 10 years. You know what I mean? It's not the kind of franchise that you keep bringing out the same movie because the Terminator there's a timeline of sorts.
Well, they keep
There's-
like poo-pooing all over.
Well, that's
their
the thing.
endings.
It's like when they keep crapping on okay, we don't count those.
Did you?
You're discrediting what's gone before, and by that nature, you're discrediting what you're now doing because you're coming so quickly after that.
Did you guys know that this is intended to be a trilogy?
Yes.
So was Genesis. Genesis was
Yeah, they
intended to be a
say
trilogy.
Oh
That's the
yeah,
thing,
you
they-
could definitely tell Genesis was supposed to
They keep saying that, but at this point, there's no reason to believe them.
Right.
They're discrediting themselves.
Well, if they can't pull it off with
Linda Hamilton,
the key
and
to the series. Schwarzenegger, and even technically, Cameron was back on board. Now, of course, I don't know if you've seen him lately.
Kirk Cameron?
No.
Yeah, Powerhouse Candace Cameron Burke.
He's actually been bagging on the director as of late since this bombed. He's kind of come back and was like,
he's James Cameron.
I don't picture him as a very pleasant person.
I don't know. I'm just saying. It just feels like it's all imploding on itself at this point. So they gave it the old college try, but I don't know. I mean, maybe this is a tale of, there's certain IPs that you can keep going with, but then other ones that just...
They need time to either be done or they need time to sit on the shelf.
I think this is just one of them that you just got to let it... It's done.
Let me put it this way. I've always wanted more Ghostbusters. And they're making...
You're gonna get it.
I'm still worried about
They're making another one, but it looks like it's going to be like the Ghostbusting family, right?
Yeah.
And
son, I'm worried about that one.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be terrible. But it's if the previous foray into the Ghostbusters franchise had never happened at all, and they did this now, it'd be like, all right, it's a curiosity. But now it just feels like, oh no, we need to erase the taste that was left in everyone's mouths. Like it doesn't feel. I
just think there's certain.
At least we now know, as in last week or so, that Bill Murray is officially on board.
Yeah, but again, how much FaceTime are those guys going to get in this movie?
I don't think they're going to get much at all. I think it's going to be about Paul Rudd and
of course it is.
Finn Wolfhard and all them.
It's going to be Shia LaBeouf taking over as Indiana Jones, right?
I think honestly, my prediction. Here you go. Here's my Ghostbusters prediction. Everybody's been waiting for it, right? Egon's dead, but his son discovers the Ecto-1 in the barn. And so the family ends up falling in and trying to, because there's ghosts that got to be busted.
All right.
Yeah, who are you going to call?
Yeah.
What they should have done for Terminator is create a series on Disney Plus about the Terminator.
Well, they did that on Fox a while ago. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't.
Yeah, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah, I watched it front to back. I really enjoyed it, but again, I would never, I would talk about it in secret, like low hush tones with Howie, but I didn't want to promote that I was watching it to people because I'm like, I would never recommend it.
Still,
But Lena Headey was Sarah Connor.
Look, they've given that franchise, I think, all the tries that they possibly can. I mean, if they keep going on this.
Yeah, no, put it on the shelf, let it age, and then come back and do something. I don't know. They've rebooted it so many times. They're trying to cancel. I don't know. This might be just
reboots suck too, man.
Done for 30 years.
Sometimes I think you're done.
Yeah.
I mean, like Back to the Future, you're done.
And they knew it.
They did.
Yeah.
Those guys say as long as they're alive, that there will not be a sequel to that movie.
Meanwhile, Christopher Lloyd's like, all right, I'm 107 years old, but I will do it again.
Oh, damn it. He needs to shut his old trap.
They do Angels in the Outfield trilogy.
That's the only thing he's ever positive about. He's like such a curmudgeon-y old dude. But he said, you want to play Doc Brown again? I do it in a heartbeat. Okay.
All right, one more movie in the news this week. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic
is in the news this week.
Finally,
I love
right?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay, so there's a reason I'm bringing this up.
He's super
because
fast.
there is a larger overarching narrative that goes over this movie. Okay, so I'm gonna lay down the foundation of what happened with this movie.
The animals are actually the enemy, right?
About the more overarching story here, right? Okay, so Sonic the Hedgehog, 6 months ago, maybe? More than that, maybe a year ago?
Not quite.
Okay, so 9 months ago.
I mean, I feel like you're in the ballpark, but I don't feel like you're really trying.
And have a baby.
All right, so they released some teaser footage, not even footage, just
there's a trailer,
photos, right?
No, it was a trailer. Full on trailer, yeah.
Full on trailer. Wow, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, okay, dialogue and everything, yeah.
So they released a trailer, and the fans of Sonic the Hedgehog went ballistic.
Not just fans,
they were like,
everybody.
Oh, dear God in heaven, that looks nothing like Sonic the Hedgehog.
No.
What are you doing?
It wasn't that it looked nothing like Sonic the Hedgehog. It was oh God,
fuel.
what is this nightmare?
It has teeth. Why?
It's like, this is what happens when you don't have someone sit down and workshop some ideas. You just tell the CG guys, just go, you know what Sonic is, right?
Yeah, it's like a hedgehog it looks like a person.
Yeah, hedgehog looks like a person. Have you ever played the games? No, never played the games. You know,
just
spitball.
Here's
Before
some pictures.
He's blue. All right, I'll see you on Tuesday.
Does he have teeth? Yeah, whatever.
Is he wearing sneakers? Sneakers, yes.
All right. So Sonic the Hedgehog, there was a lot of backlash after that footage came out. And essentially the director producers took to social media and were like, hey, we're sorry. And, you know, we're listening. We're taking your feedback. And they have since gone through the redesign phase, and
they reanimated all of
Sonic. It. Yeah, crazy. And they've recently released new pictures of the redesign, and people are a lot more happy.
That you'd never get to see Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik, worry no more.
I had to see it. I had to.
All right. So anyway, people are a lot more happy with the results now. And,
because it looks even remotely like Sonic.
I guess. Yeah, I guess. Okay. So here's the more overarching story here, right? It's that over the last few years, there's been a trend, it seems. And maybe this is hits more close to home with us with Last Jedi, right? Last Jedi came out and there was a lot of fan backlash and people were like, what the heck is going on? And instead of a lot of the fans feeling like they were being listened to and heard from
in any way whatsoever. Go ahead.
So instead of being listened to, not only were we not listened to, a lot of fans felt like we were
and teabagged by everyone anywhere close to people of authority.
Exactly.
Mike, I really wish I didn't have to finish your sentence.
So a lot of fans feel like that, and it's not just this. I mean, there's other properties out there where there are similar things going on where fans are like, you know, hey, we don't like this. What the heck are you doing? And then instead of, you know, the movie studios and the producers and creators, you know, listening, they just start it seems like it's
just a culture battle.
Right. It's a culture battle immediately. Exactly. It's like, well, if you don't like this, then you're a hater and you're a misogynist.
And part of the problem is that all the suck-ups can't wait to engage in a culture battle because for whatever reason, we owe the artists something, which as someone who studied art, therefore I'm naturally an authority. I think it's horseshit to ever defend an artist. Defend art, but don't defend an artist. They're not beholden to you, or you're not beholden to them. It's like I don't know. Don't look me to defend a politician either. I don't care who I vote for. It's up to them to please me, not the other way around.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, critique is how we evolve, you know? Right. And if we don't critique, we don't evolve. So you get the ocean of people who respond to it. And then you get a studio going, shoot. I mean, we should probably, let's get in a cold, dark room and not tell anybody that we're actually listening to what the people are angry about. And then let's all the front facing people, the directors, the writers and the actors, let them go out and just attack along with all of these rage monster suck ups.
Okay. So, I mean, let me ask you this then. I mean, so obviously that's the wrong way to go, where you're blaming the fan base and you're doubling down on what you're doing.
It's obvious to some of us, very much not to others.
True, but I'll tell you what, the ones that don't recognize that it's a problem, those IPs are going to die, right? Yep. Slow, awful, horrible deaths.
Yep.
Okay, so now on the other side of the spectrum here, now we have Sonic the Hedgehog, where
no one wanted a Sonic movie. No one.
I get it,
but just for the sake of argument, nobody even wanted this.
Right.
But it was bad enough that everyone got upset by it.
I guess my question to you guys, and anybody feel free to chime in, is, I understand wanting creators and studios, directors, producers to have some kind of ear toward the fandom.
Yeah, it's
but
good.
Where is the balance? Because I almost feel like my gosh, they redid this whole movie. That's not a sound business decision to me.
Yeah, it's like,
You
how
know
are
what I
they
mean?
possibly going to recoup any? Do they think that the press from all this is actually going to pay some of that off? I don't think so.
I don't think that movie's going to make any money.
It's kind of like on a very large scale, comping your customer for having to wait an extra 10 minutes for their food.
Yeah, but that's the scale, though. That large scale, though. It's not, and plus, isn't the movie more or less? Didn't they just take the movie Hop, take the bunny out, and throw a hedgehog in? I'm pretty sure that's what they did.
It was either going to go straight to DVD,
which seems far more likely,
or they're going to do this.
This should have been a Netflix movie.
Netflix didn't have anything to do with this.
I mean, I don't know. I like watching Cyclops in a lot of things.
I mean, I feel like there's got to be a happy medium in there, right? I mean, because, you know, we'll just go to Star Wars. That's what we're all most familiar with. I feel like, okay, there was a misstep with The Last Jedi, right? I mean, you know, and they have one, Disney, Lucasfilm at that point has one of two decisions to make. They can either double down and keep doing the same shit, regardless, because they feel like it's the right thing or whatever, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
You know, or they can listen to some of the
And
criticisms.
they have every right to do that.
Sure. Right. And I'll tell you what, and they can go down that road. And if people don't like it, they're not going to buy their shit and they're not going to go see their movies. Right.
Yep.
That's how this works.
Yep.
You know,
be carried on the back of the vocal
it has
5%.
very little to do about art.
It really doesn't anymore. That's what.
Well, especially with
It's
Disney.
a business. That's all movies are businesses.
Okay. But the artfulness of something can make it more financially.
But see, that
only comes down to can I make money from being artful?
And see, that's the thing, man. Level. That's where I'm trying to find this balance, because I do believe in the artist being able to create art. But, you know, Star Wars, for example, you can create that art, but it's got to be within certain confines, right?
You're not going to be able to create the art in Star Wars.
You know what? They used to have a term for art films. It was called art films. Are you guys familiar with that term?
Once you get past art films, it's
original pieces.
It's and I mean, it's like the difference. I used to tell people I was a fake art major because I studied graphics. I was literally, I want to make art that people pay me money for, not art that I have to hope people pay me money for. And that's the difference between, you know, selling out and stuff like that. Why is it now that we think that the biggest franchises and commercial properties need to be leading the charge into the future of tomorrow? It's like, commercials does not.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. It doesn't. At some point, we left the sound business decisions behind with this ideal that everything should usher in a better tomorrow. Yeah. And the things that do help that are good. But yeah, it's like we just can't decide what side of the lake to pee on, you know, but we're going to piss all over everything no matter what we do. Go for a swim. No one will know you're pissing. That's
I guess in the case of Disney, I feel like, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how things play out over the next 6 months, but I feel like Disney is listening. I feel like that they've made some changes.
It does. You know? The thing is, they can't promote it, because if they promote it, they immediately get the hate from that vocal minority.
Right. And they can't admit any of it. Yeah. I mean, obviously.
Yeah. They can't indicate that they might go back on some of these wonderful world-changing blurs.
I mean, because honestly, we went from, okay, you know, before The Last Jedi, we were promising trilogies to all these people and everything else. And then Last Jedi comes out, and then kind of the world changes, right? I mean, things are taking a dive real quick. You know, Last Jedi is a very controversial movie.
They can't seem to get a plan made.
Solo is like losing money, and they're like, oh my God, what happened? So, you know, we go that 18 months between Solo and, you know, now Mandalorian and Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
And it feels like, anyway, that they've made those changes. I mean, we've got Dave Filoni now.
Or at least they're allowing those changes to be made in certain places.
Right. Now, whether this carries over into the movies or not, I guess, you know, we won't know for another 4 weeks or so.
And even then, I'm not looking for JJ to reset that.
I'm not either, but we'll see, you know, and then we'll see if they announce any more movies. I don't know. Again, I think the next 6 months are going to be very telling. You know, if they go back to the same old pattern of promising trilogies to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes, you know, their way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to roll my eyes and throw my hands in the air and be like, whatever, here we go.
Nobody believes you.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if they actually do make, they get through Rise of Skywalker, maybe Kathleen Kennedy moves on, they bring in Feige or whomever, and they, what we expect to have happen actually happens, then, I'm going to continue to feel like, okay, to me, that seems like a reasonable progression for, okay, we've listened to the fans and we're trying to correct things to make things better for the majority of people.
Right.
Right. So
Not just the most diehards.
Right.
It's got to be carried on the backs of more people.
sure. But I mean, obviously you can't go back, like this Sonic the Hedgehog thing to me, again,
It sounds insane.
that's great. It's great that they listen to the fans.
I
but
hope they make it back. I really do. Now but am I
Yeah.
going to run out to see it? No.
no, but who is,
I
yeah,
didn't ask for it to be. I love Sonic, man. I was a Genesis kid.
really.
Oh, yeah. I'm a huge old classic Sonic fan. I have probably 12 Sonic games sitting on my Steam account that I bought on sale. And every time I look to them, I'm like,
No.
All right.
you know what I mean?
No. Just not. No. But
Anyway,
Anyway,
that's all I had for news.
It means I'm parked by the week.
We hope you enjoyed this special edition of Fly Casual. If you haven't already, please subscribe and rate us at iTunes, Stitcher, and all your favorite podcast locations. It is important that you rate us so that we can reach more and more people. As always, be sure to check out the show notes at betterkind.com. There are also many, many ways to join in on the conversation. Follow us on Twitter at FlyCasual1138. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/FlyCasualPodcast. We are also now on YouTube, so please take a moment right now to subscribe and ding the bell for updates. We are also now on Discord as well. Lots of opportunities to chime in. Reach out and say hi. Talk to you soon.